It's the design of the API. The basic calls were to create or modify OpenQ objects. The OpenQ objects can be modified by calls to attribute functions, which deal with OpenQ attributes. The probability the pthread.h header file should be included in each source file using pthread library. The current POSIX standard is defined only the C language. Fortran programmers can use wrapper around C function code. Some Fortran compilers may provide a Fortran pthread API. Creating and terminating threads. Routines. Pthread create, pthread exit, pthread attr init, pthread attr destroy. Creating threads. Initially, your main method program comprises a single default thread. All other threads must be explicitly created by the programmer. Pthread create creates a new thread and make it executable. The routine can be called any number of times from anywhere within your code. Pthread create arguments. Thread. An OpenQ unique identifier for the new thread returned by the subroutine. attr. An OpenQ attribute object that may be used to set thread attributes. You can specify a thread attributes object or null for the default values. Start routine. The C routine that the thread will execute once it is created. Arg. A single argument that may be passed to start routine. It must be passed by reference as a pointer cast of type void. Null may be used if no arguments is to be passed. Thread attributes. By default, a thread is created with certain attributes. Some of these attributes can be changed by the programmer via the thread attribute object. Pthread attr init and pthread attr destroy are used to initialize, destroy the thread attribute object. Other routines are then used to query set specify attributes in the thread attribute object. Some of these attributes will be discussed later. Terminating threads. There are several ways in which a pthread may be terminated. The thread returns from its starting routine. The thread makes a call to the pthread exit subroutine. The thread is cancelled by another thread via the pthread cancel routine. The entire process is terminated due to a call to either the exec or exit subroutines. Pthread exit is used to explicitly exit a thread. Typically, the pthread exit routine is called after a thread has completed its work and is no longer required to exit. If main method finish before the threads it has created and exit with pthread exit, the other threads will continue to be executed. Otherwise, they will be automatically terminated when main finish. The programmer may optionally specify a termination status, which is stored as a void pointer for any thread that may join the calling thread. Cleanup. The pthread exit routine does not close files. Any files open inside the thread will remain open after the thread is terminated. Passing arguments to threads. The pthread create routine permits the programmer to pass one argument to the thread start routine. For case where multiple arguments must be passed, this limitation is easily overcome by the creating a structure which contains all of the arguments and then passing a pointer to that structure in the pthread create routine. All arguments must be passed by reference and cast to void. Joining and detaching threads routines. Pthread join, pthread detach, pthread attr set detach state, pthread attr get detach state. The pthread join subroutine blocks the calling thread until the specified thread ID thread terminates. The programmer is able to obtain the target thread's termination return status if it was specified in the target thread's call to pthread exit. A joining thread can match one pthread join call. It is a logical error to attempt multiple joins on the same thread. Two other synchronization methods, mutexes and condition variables, will be discussed later. Joinable or not. When a thread is created, one of its attributes defines whether it is joinable or detached. Only threads that are created as joinable can be joined. If a thread is created as detached, it can never be joined. The final draft of the POSIX standard specifies that thread should be created as joinable. To explicitly create a thread as joinable or detached, the attr argument in the pthread create routine is used. The typically four-step process is declare a pthread attribute variable of the pthread attr t data type. Initialize the attribute variable within pthread attr init method. Set the attribute detach status with pthread attr set detach state. When done, free library resources used by the attribute within pthread attr destroy. Detaching. The pthread detach routine can be used to explicitly detach a thread even though it was created as joinable. There is no conveys routine. Recommendations.